It would appear the Danish people have a sense of humor, and it's nice to see, considering the fact that the new Trump administration has thrust them into what could become an international dilemma. I don't know, I was going to call it an international crisis, but that, I don't know, felt a little bit too intense. But maybe, is the United States threatening to overtake an ally's territory by military force not already a bit of a crisis? The only reason it isn't a crisis is because no one, including the Danes, seem to be taking Trump seriously. But taking their cues from Trump, the Danes have a proposal of their own. They would now like to buy California. Not really, but they're using satire to prove a point, which is what satire is for. In the same way that Trump and his techno-capitalist cronies want to just take over or buy Denmark's most resource-rich territory, Denmark's petition to crowdfund $1 trillion to buy the pristine golden American coast has already racked up over 200,000 signatures. The website, Denmarkification.com, says at the top, "Make California great again." At the top, it says, "Let's buy California from Trump, Denmark's next big adventure." And it asks, have you ever looked at a map and thought, you know what Denmark needs? More sunshine, palm trees, and roller skates. Well, we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make that dream a reality. Let's buy California from Donald Trump. Yes, you heard that right. California could be ours, and we need your help to make it happen. This whole webpage is dripping with sarcasm, humor, and disdain for Trump, who they clearly do not respect. I wasn't going to go through all of it, but it's all so good. First, they lay out why, of all of the United States, they would like to buy California. For one, they could really go for some of that California sunshine. And they're excited to swap their rain boots for flip-flops. They reference the fact that the United States is now a technocratic oligarchy, saying that with the purchase of California, they would gain an extra bunch of tech bros. It is what every democracy needs. They're also happy about all of the avocado toast they'll get to eat, and they want to rename Disneyland to Hans Christian Andersen Land. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but they would like to keep Mickey Mouse, just put him in a Viking helmet. Finally, they want California in order to protect the free world. They invoke some Trump rhetoric, saying, most people say we have the best freedom, colossal freedom. Moving on, they detail reasons as to why Trump might actually sell California to them. Well, in addition to the $1 trillion, they're willing to throw in a lifetime supply of Danish pastries, which sounds amazing. But then they say, let's be honest, Trump isn't exactly California's biggest fan. He's called it the most ruined state in the union and has feuded with its leaders for years. We're pretty sure he'd be willing to part with it for the right price. As for the will of the citizens, well, let's face it, when has that ever stopped him? If Trump wants to sell California, he'll sell California. Trump acts like no one can see through him. He acts like no one can see how wildly insecure he is. And his supporters, who are themselves fooled, think Trump's big talk and big posturing means something to international leaders. They don't. They find him annoying and foolish. He's disruptive in a way that is actually inefficient, despite what his followers would have you believe. And the only problems he seems willing or able to somewhat resolve are the ones he started in the first place. But back to the Danes, they have a so-called tremendous plan for acquiring New Denmark. First, if every Dane just gives up a few lattes, they'll meet their fundraising goal. Also, they'll send their best negotiators to settle the deal, the cast of a popular Danish TV show, and their Lego executives. Very American. In return, they will bring their Danish values to Hollywood, soon to be the new Danishwood, including coziness, bike lanes, and organic bread. Of course, Danish culture in California means that residents would also be subject to things like universal health care and fact-based politics. Could be quite an adjustment for Californians, but somehow I think they'll survive the transition. Towards the bottom of the webpage, they include some nice things that their imaginary supporters have said. They've got Viggo Mortensen, the actor who most notably played Aragorn in Lord of the Rings, saying, "I may have been born in New York, but my heart is Danish. Let's bring a little Middle-earth magic to California and make it New Denmark." Hans Christian Andersen, the deceased Danish author of several popular children's stories, said, "Once upon a time, there was a little mermaid who dreamed of sunny shores and palm trees. Now, Denmark can make that dream come true. Let's buy California and give her a new home." Even Karen from accounting weighed in, saying, "I've crunched the numbers and buying California makes perfect sense. Sure, it's $1 trillion kroner, but have you seen the price of avocado toast in Copenhagen? This is an investment in our future." They also have imaginary support from Sven the Viking, Queen Margaret III, and Lars Ulrich of Metallica, and others. As for Trump and his imperialistic plans, he's been in talks with Putin, and the two are hoping to get together sometime in the near future to discuss their plans for the global landscape. Two psychos shaping the world in their image. Putin has been speaking about a new Yalta, referencing the 1945 meeting in Yalta on the Crimean Peninsula between Winston Churchill, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Joseph Stalin, where they essentially carved up Europe following the war. Ultimately, Stalin walked away from Yalta, with Russia in control over Eastern Europe and Northeast Asia, but it also led to the start of the Cold War. The new Yalta, which could potentially take place in Fiji, would be between Trump, Putin, and Xi Jinping, each of whom are trying to gain control over territories they really have no rights to. So who knows, maybe a US-controlled Greenland is actually within Trump's grasp. We all know it's what Elon Musk wants, so as ridiculous as Trump's proposal sounds, we can't assume that they're not serious about it. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks.